evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cooking with Dan Leslie. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. I'll be your host this evening, and as I speak with you, we are in Dan's kitchen waiting to see what you're doing this evening.
Hey, Jen,
Hi, Dan.
how you doing?
How are you?
Alrighty, what's up?
Good. Oh, nothing much.
Guys are getting ready for the Harvest Fest, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be a zoo.
Countdown is here.
That's a one-day affair, right?
One day.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's kind of like a one day all year long planning type of thing.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Right. I heard it's supposed to thunder and hail, I think, that day. I think continually. I'm pretty sure the almanac has it in there from 10 in the morning, I think, till, what, 6 at night. It's just supposed to forget it, you know?
Don't you do it.
No, this is what I heard, you know?
Nasty guy.
No, I'm sure you're going to have a great fall day. It'll be great
Thanks.
for you, you know? That'll
Listen,
be
we
good.
got hot air balloons this year, so
Oh, my Lord.
we're looking for some good weather.
And the elections are near too, right? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of hot air down there anyway. Yeah, and then we're gonna no helmets on the motorcycles. I can work with that. 13-year-olds can smoke. No, they can't vote. The hell with them. Yeah, I can imagine there'll be a little flesh getting pressed down there. I might even get down there, you know, with a little Sam hat, you know, something like that.
Listen, your mom's working that day. You better get down there.
That's right, right. Buy my 50/50s, right?
Yeah.
Unreal. That's great. But yeah, you'll have a great time.
Good.
All right, to the
Okay.
business at hand here. What are we going to do? We used to, I used to make a cream spinach, if you would. You know,
Yeah, I
sometimes you see a
remember that.
cream spinach in some of these big steakhouses and stuff like that. And we did a little variation of that here. What I did with it is I used to stuff a fillet of sole with it. In fact, I was going to make that for a couple of my guests this week. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make that now.
Oh, okay.
And,
I was going to say, I remember we did that way back when, but are you going to do something different? No,
yeah,
you're
this
gonna
is
do
a little different. Yeah, that one was over some wilted
Yeah,
spinach,
it's a
and it was
little
kind of a
different.
poached sole. And this is the way I think I have a few friends of mine would really rather I did it the way I'm going to show you now. But
So
basically,
it's evolved.
right.
Yeah,
It's
new.
de-evolved. It's gone the other way. Regressed.
Evolved.
This is was a really nice thing to do. As you notice, we've washed this and taken most of the large stems off of the spinach.
Okay.
It's not any sort of baby spinach. It's just basic good stuff. We've rinsed it off and taken most of the stems off, and I think that's really important. You don't want to have a lot of stalks in your cream spinach. And there's a lot of ways we are going to tighten this up at the end. And what I'm going to attempt to do is, and the reason I'm doing it at the beginning of the show is I want to really just cook the heck out of this spinach here, and to try to get some color to flow out of it and to get it mellow. We didn't want to have this where it was all stringy, and we didn't want to put it in a food processor and make it pureed either. I'm going to chop it coarsely. So the first thing I'm going to do is blanch this off in the water, and I'm going to toss some spinach in there. If you're doing this at home, maybe you want to buy a couple of these bags of spinach.
Yeah. And those are 16-ounce bags, aren't they?
Yeah,
About?
I can't remember, actually. I think, yeah, they're 1-pound bags generally, you're right.
And blanching doesn't take that long.
Nah, I'm just going to get this where I can work with it. And then I'm going to chop it, so I didn't want to chop it ahead of time. It's easier. It's like getting that haircut when your hair's wet. You know, it's one of those deals. You can cut the hair a little more easily.
Okay. I was going to ask you why you didn't chop that before you
Yeah,
cut it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have given you that.
That's all
So I'm
right.
just going to rinse this off and run some cold water on it.
Okay.
Just getting most of the water out of here so I can chop this spinach up.
Yeah, I didn't realize spinach retained that much water once it,
Right.
once it was boiled.
Yeah, I
Or
like
shall I
that.
say
We've got a little
parkland.
color there. I'm going
Yeah,
to
you
save
do.
some of this, okay?
Sure.
We'll do that. See if I got a little bowl over here. Save some of this water. We'll add it in at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Then what I'm going to do, I can use the same pot. I'm going to start this. I'm going to put a little, you know, again, this is my own doing. I was going to put a little bit of oil in our pan just to get a little garlic going. I was going to add some white wine to it just to get a base. I don't want to have too much. I'm not going to really brown the garlic out that much. I just want to get it started. So I'm looking at the amount of spinach I have, the amount of garlic. I don't want to go crazy with this.
Oh, so I was looking for cloves of garlic.
Yeah,
You have
I'm using the
basically a
pureed
garlic
variety, so this will
puree.
really
Yeah.
get into it. I'm just trying to, get the garlic moving a little bit. That's all. Get the flavors coming out. Maybe get a little light brown to it. You can see it's starting already. But I want to really, I like it. I like the way the spinach gets when it's really, really cooks down. It gets this mellow flavor to it. I've got some white wine here.
Yep.
Actually, it's a Pinot Grigio.
Yep.
Gonna add some.
It's a nice light white.
I'd say it's like almost a half a cup, and I'm gonna reduce that, marry that to the, marry that up to the these corks. Forget it. Unbelievable how hard it is to get these corks and some of these back into some of these bottles of wine. And in the meantime, I'm gonna chop our spinach up. I could have done a little more spinach here. I'm going to make enough for about 2 orders here. I'll be at this again when the show's over, believe me. All right, I'm just going to start chopping it. There are a few stems in here, but we try to minimize it.
And we're going to make sure you do that
This will
until you
be-
get that right.
Right, this will be duly noted
Yeah.
when our staff arrives. We want to minimize the stem. Nice green leafy spinach. I won't blame my mother again on this show for feeding me frozen spinach. I promised you, Mom, I'd never throw you under the bus regarding that again.
Now, wait a minute. You have to backtrack here. What's this all about?
No, on one of the shows I had
I don't remember this.
mentioned the frozen spinach
Oh.
drill. But, as you get older, and I was a real fussy eater, I'm telling you. Well, a couple of my brothers, my brother Mike, boy, he could eat anything. Forget it. Relish on a hot dog, couldn't handle the crunch on my teeth. Onions, forget it. I mean, talk about Mr. Vanilla. Oh, my Lord, I'm telling you.
So are you trying to say that you gave your mom a hard time?
On the show, one of our shows I did, yeah. She's sitting there, having a nice time. All of a sudden, there's her son going, Mom, I hate you. You never took care of me. No, we had a good yuck over it. Of course, at her expense. But, spinach is very hard to handle. Fresh spinach, All right, that looks pretty coarse. And I think the garlic and the wine have reduced a little. They've come together, okay? So I'm going to take this spinach and put it in our pot. And this is going to be a creamed spinach.
Okay.
So I have some heavy cream here. I'm going to add a little cream to saturate that. I feel like now the cream is dominating. Now I want to reduce this. I want to make the color come out of the spinach.
Okay.
I wanted to beat the spinach to a pulp. I want to kick it around and be real nasty to it.
Ooh.
No, I just wanted to get this spinach. We're gonna finish this with some salt and pepper, and I just prefer to add that a little bit later. But I need a neutral. If I want to reduce this, by the time I don't want to keep adding cream all day here. I'm going to add a little cream at the end of it when I tighten it up. But I needed a neutral to accommodate this reduction when it's going to be cooking out the spinach and trying to get this the color green where I want it. I love it.
That's where the water comes in.
Yeah, so we're going to add we could add we could have added a chicken stock to this. We could have added maybe some clam juice or a fish type stock to it. But that would reduce its you could put this out as a side type of dish to one of your guests. You could stuff some a chicken with it, and if it's got a fish base to it, that really wouldn't go over too well.
No.
Whoa! And and the same thing. We try to stuff the fillet of sole here, so we're trying to get something neutral. We'll make it the water. All right, I'm going to add enough in here that I think by the time this comes down, we'll see at the end of the show. Hopefully it'll be done by then. I mean, I got 9 gallons of water in here. We'll be able to finish this dish up. So you can see how soupy it is. There's no color to it. It's got the wine and the garlic in it already. It's got some cream and the water. We're just going to let this happen now, okay?
And now this is going to reduce.
Yeah.
Probably by about half.
No, I would say
No?
about 4/5.
Really?
Yeah, this is really going to tighten up.
Okay.
This is taking a little while. You know what I wanted to do? I've been getting a lot of requests for, we did it on a show a ways back where we were trying to help our viewers that wanted to cook at home get a basic sautéed dish together.
Right. Yes.
Just maybe she and her husband, the candlelight dinner, or something like that. Or unless you were really adept at doing it, I wouldn't recommend trying it for 6 to 8 people. But maybe 2 or 4 people or something like that. You wanted to give it a whirl.
Sure.
Maybe some chicken cutlets. I think I had brought that up. Chicken's a good way to go because it doesn't cost as much. Now, it's harder to ruin, and you can work with it. Veal is very pricey, and it's harder to work with, and you've got to watch what you buy with the veal. Like I said, the veal is very pricey. You got to watch how you're buying it. The chicken, you can get it more uniform. It is cheaper. Shrimp, work with the shrimp on the hors d'oeuvre. Little shrimp
That's a
cod,
good idea.
this kind of thing.
That's a good idea.
But what we were going to do was a chicken franchise.
Okay.
We wanted to, I have an oven on over here, and I recommend that to anybody cooking any combination of food at home. To me, the trick is having the oven on, where you can place things, keep them hot while you're getting your other stuff
Right,
together,
yes.
It's just really, really important, I think. And I have that on because while I'm making the sauce and possibly getting some pasta or potatoes or vegetables together that are kind of par done and tightening it up, maybe the last thing I could do is take this chicken out, put it on the plate, put the sauce on it, and serve it. Meanwhile, everything else is ready to rock and roll. And so let's give it a shot. Whoops, wrong one. Got these new ovens here. And take me a year and a day to figure out how I'm even working.
I see, you've got a flame there.
I don't even know if I'm using the right burner. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
I had the wrong one on. Okay. So I'm going to put a little oil in the pan. I'm going to finish this with some butter. And you know how weirded out I am about using olive oil and butter in the same pan. You don't want to, you need enough to get I'm going to cook 4 cutlets in here.
Okay, because I was going to say, now that's a little bit more than I usually see you.
Right. Yeah,
But it's you're using 4 cutlets.
Right.
That's why.
And
Okay.
the sauce we're going to make is not going to be, I could make this sauce on the side. I am going to do it in the same pan, but you could do the sauce on the side. I'd recommend for this dish also going out and buying some of that chicken broth or the chicken cubes.
Okay.
Or you know what I would do? I would get the chicken broth and add a chicken cube to it. That would be good.
Ah.
Yeah, because you just wanted some of that chicken broth. I feel like it just doesn't have great base flavor unless you're making your own stocks. And I know they're becoming more and more available too to buy these stocks. I have, you want a strong stock. I was going to use some, I have a lemon here. Just go buy a lemon and maybe have a little strainer. It's going to put some fresh lemon juice in there. I'm going to use a little bit of this white wine. I'll end up using some salt and some pepper. And what else are we going to use? I've got some flour and some butter here. The butter's just softened a little bit. And all I'm going to do to finish this, and you can do a number of things. You can use a roux.
Okay.
You can use some cornstarch and stock, thicken it with that. What I wanted you to do is to take this flour at the end and pinch it into the butter.
Really?
Yes. Just
No, I
pinch it
haven't
in
seen
like
that.
Yeah. We're just going to pinch that in like that, okay? So we're going to enrich it with the butter, and the butter is going to be the liaison, the go-between between the sauce and this flour. You can't, using this technique here, this is something that you can put into the sauce and serve it right away. If you attempted to keep the sauce hot for a period of time, this is going to break down. You would have needed to have cooked the flour into the butter. So this is when you're getting ready to serve it. I'm going to turn this little baby down here a little bit. We don't want to lose it.
And that's been reducing.
That's been reducing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have too much oil in here also. That is too much, so we'll cut that back a hair. And I'll also turn the flame down. There we go. All right, I have some chicken cutlets here. And with this particular dish, I've already flattened them a little bit to have them ready for certain other dishes. But with the chicken franchise, you have to watch it because of the If any dish we've undercooked, or I've undercooked rather, over the years, it's been this. Only
Really?
because the shrimp and sole and veal, they're thinner, lighter density,
Yes, they are.
this sort of thing. All of a sudden, if you don't tap that chicken out a little bit, it looks nice and golden on the outside, but lo and behold, on the inside, it's kind of murky, underdone, and you can't have that.
Nope.
Nothing like underdone chicken, right?
Can't have that with chicken.
Right.
Have to be careful.
So you can see I'm flattening this out. Okay, I'll put these back on the plate. Okay. And again, this sauce here isn't going to have that, what's great about this way of preparing the food is that it really, this egg coating I'm going to put on here really holds the moisture in. But the bad part about it is that you can't get that brown base to the sauce that you can get with, you know, if you just took the flour, the chicken, floured it, and placed it into the pan, where it can brown to the bottom of the pan. You can toss the oil out and use that as the base to your sauce. As far as eggs go, you're just going to have to eyeball it. If you use too many eggs, just don't tell your husband. Just put them in the scrambled eggs the next morning.
Oh, you're a cheater.
Yeah, I love that. I'll try 4 of these bad boys.
Okay.
Okay, we'll whisk them up. And, oh, that's another thing, too. I could go and, you know, you can season this egg batter. I've seen people do it with Parmesan cheese, salt, and pepper, and I don't know, I just don't do it. I'm going to season the sauce. And, but if you want a little extra spunk or take the taste in a different direction, you can season this egg mix. All right, what are we doing here? I need to flour this, so I'll sneak some of this flour that I have for the butter. And you can see how nice and thin these are. There's no real thick parts to it. If you're
No,
not
not at
sure on this dish, go a little bit thinner. And again, I have my oven on. Because I'm home, I can cook the chicken off. I mean, you don't want to go crazy, but you don't have to do this under the gun. Alrighty then. If you want to get this, you know, I can put some of the egg in here.
You can put them directly
See
in
how
there
that's
from the
cooking?
bowl
It's,
then.
pardon me, go ahead, Janet, I'm sorry.
You're
saying?
putting them directly into the pan from the bowl.
Exactly.
Okay.
And, you know, you can see it's driving the egg, so I think we're right where we want it.
Okay.
You don't want to have this one really crazy hot. You want to have it where it's driving it, though. That seems to be pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Gotta watch all the nooks and crannies. See that there? It's just folded under a little bit. Okay.
Okay. And always place the meat away
Right.
from you.
And if you were, yes, please, with the oil,
Yes.
yeah, work it away from you.
Okay.
And, you know, if you were doing this for a larger group, you could do what I'm doing and just add a ton more oil and get a little pan and put them in the pan and have them ready to put them in the oven and just make more sauce. So try it out first on your poor husband, or husband, try it out first on your wife. You do the cooking. Yeah, I know more and more guys that are cooking. I could have gotten this pan a hair hotter, you know?
And actually, you can smell the essence of the egg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. All right, so now I've got, you know, let's say you're, I don't know, say you were going to eat at 7 o'clock, and this is 6 o'clock. I see no reason why you couldn't get this together at 6 o'clock. You know, clean everything up and have it, don't put it back in the fridge or something, cover it with a towel and have your oven ready, and you can get this back together. You don't want to be doing this under the gun while everybody's coming in the kitchen going, "What are you doing? My grandmother didn't do that. Are you watching?" You know, so you want to do a minimal amount of this stuff. You don't want
Now
to be
we're
giving away
cooking.
any of our secrets, you know? I just want to get that color just a little darker.
Uh-huh.
Boy, this Florentine is starting to happen. I don't know if you can tell. You can see a little bit of green in there. It's not quite where we want it.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't work out, I'll just put some green food dye in. Just kidding. All right. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this in the same pan because you're not really bringing up the. I want to take all those little pieces off. So, you know, you could have these spread out a little more, maybe a little towel over them, ready to rock and roll for later on.
And just leave them as is.
As is. Don't put them
Okay.
away, and don't worry, you know, it's not, nothing bad's going to happen. They're not going to all of a sudden turn into God knows what. They're not going to, you know, the bacteria won't be jumping in that rapidly. I'll probably have the Board of Health on the phone in 20 minutes here telling me I'm out of my mind. All right, I'm going to add a little white wine to this
Okay.
pan. And again, you want to just, the way I recommend doing this is to if you're not sure, put in less. Put in less than you need. And you can always add a little bit more. I got some lemon juice. I'm just going to squeeze some through this little strainer. Of course, I have a bunch of it all ready to go, but you're going to be doing this at home. All right, put a little bit in there. You don't want to go wacky with it, and then taste it and see what it's like. So now I've got my chicken stock. That's our neutral. Got that wine lemon mixture. It smells great.
Mmm.
You can add a little of this chicken stock. And with the chicken stock, I feel like you can add a little bit more than you might think. You know, I forgot to do something. I forgot to put these in the oven.
Oh.
We're getting a lot here today, aren't I? How's our little creamy mix here doing? Come on, we want to get this done before Greg runs out of here on me. All right, I guess we can get this together. Oops.
And now the nice thing about this is that we've been really doing this simultaneously. So everything is working in concert with each other so that it's going to be done pretty much at the same time then.
Right. So I'm hoping that you have your potatoes or pasta are sitting there ready to go. You've got your vegetables are up on the radar, your chicken's in the oven.
And we can kind of do this ahead, just a little bit ahead.
The
Just a little
sauce,
bit
I
ahead?
feel
Oh,
like bring the
sauce
sauce
not.
down
Okay.
at the end.
Sauce is at the end.
So you can see I
Okay.
can use a little more. We don't have to get too thick here. Let's see if that happens. I'm not looking for that, you know, that pasty sauce here. I'm looking for something that has a little grab to it, that's all. And that's starting to develop. See those larger bubbles there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's starting to tell me that this sauce is just about where we want it. And it's got that nice buttery flavor to it.
Mm.
All right, and I'll go grab the pollo here.
Actually, you know, I'm getting the aroma of the wine too,
Right.
which I didn't expect. That's nice.
All right, we can take that off.
Okay.
All right, let's set the chicken out here. Set the cutlets out. Let's see if we can get it over here. I've got that little lemon strainer. I'm going to use that. There's a lot of little pieces of shrapnel in here, and you can see the sauce has something to it. Yet it's not. I don't like them real thick. You know, you can make it as thick as you'd like. I just want it where it's just gonna work with the
that's
dish a
nice.
little bit. Okay. Want a little sauce for maybe dunking in the bread or something like that. You can always put a little bit on the side in that gravy boat you got at one of your showers that you haven't
Oh.
that you haven't used in 20
That's
years.
for
You know,
sure.
right? Let's see. I'll just go with one lemon piece, I guess.
We like Dunkin' though.
Put that in as a garnish, maybe a slice. I always recommend
There you
having
go.
the old chopped parsley around. The fresh parsley can really do it for these
Oh,
dishes.
yeah.
Maybe another piece on top. What do you think? Just
Little
a
sprig,
little,
sure.
yeah,
Just a little sprig on top of the lemon.
Let's go with that right there. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, we've got that little paprika mix, but basically this is what you're looking at for your chicken franchise. Maybe just a little more cream to. I feel like it's got to be tighter. Yet I want it creamier. Maybe not.
So it really should be kind of a thick consistency then.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
I'm going for thick. And when
All
this
right.
cools off, it's going to get even thicker. Just the main thing is you don't want to have to take a chainsaw to it. But you can always add a little cream to loosen it up. Again, it's back to the point where the garlic is still in the pan and the wine is still in the pan. We've evaporated the water.
Okay.
So those flavors are still in there. Okay? I think we're going to leave this be. I'm going to let this cool off and try to, I'll add cream if I have to later to loosen it up. We'll see where this goes. And let me see if I can get it on a plate, and just so our viewers can get a better look at it.
Okay.
And again, you can serve this as a side dish, and I plan to stuff this into a couple slices of filet of sole.
Oh, nice.
With that little garlic,
With that garlic
wine
butter?
background to the spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's going to cool off and thicken a little bit. I'll check on it later to see if I have to add a little cream just to get it where you can, where it's a little more palatable.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us out of the kitchen. And we're kind of snacking today, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
sort of at the bar, kind of hanging out and snacking instead of doing the dinner thing. And before I ask you to go over what we've done today, I just want to excuse myself for a second because I'm going to go and get some of those caramelized onions.
Hold on a second. Don't
Before I
go snitching
forget.
on the product here.
I'm gonna
Jeez.
just-
Which one's
Here
did Greg
they
tell you to
are.
grab? The onions.
I'm going to take my onions. I know there are other things in there like marinara sauce and vodka cream sauce, but these are mine.
They're really nice.
Greg,
I love those onions.
You can't have any of these.
That's it. You're out.
These are from Dan to me. I'm taking these home.
Sounds
what
good to
do
me.
we do?
What do we do today? We
Yeah,
had
what do we do?
chicken franchise. And, you know, come to think of it, you could do this for, you can bite off more than you can chew a little bit with this dish. You know, a little more oil in the pan. Keep that oven handy. Get your veggies and whatnot done ahead of time. Just get it where all you do is produce that sauce at the end and keep pinching that butter and flour until it happens for you. If you're not sure, have more sauce than you need. You know, you can use it again if you had to reheat anything, or you can put it on a number of things. You know, put it on a bologna sandwich. We did that
Don't
cream
do that.
spinach. We did that.
And this looks fabulous.
Yeah, I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
it's good consistency.
Exactly. Right now it does look cool. I'll probably have to stir a little bit of cream in to make that work, but it's just great to the tooth. It's mellow. And of course, if you want, I can make a sautéed spinach also, or viewers at home can do that, where it's just leaves. You're eating the leaves. This is just not puree, but it's just really creamy, easy on the tooth, mellow, nice stuff.
Easy to make, too. I mean, I didn't realize how easy this was to make, so I'm going to try this at home, probably in the next day or two, unless I come and see you.
Right,
You
but-
can make it for me.
Right, the trick is to get it where there's almost no moisture left in it. You can almost vaguely see the cream, and then put the cornstarch cream mixture in there to bring it back in the other direction. You know, you don't want to get caught where it's just if you're not sure, evaporate it more than you might think to get this kind of consistency.
Okay, Dan, well, thank you very much. Folks, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. Again, want to thank you for joining us on Cooking with Dan Luzzi, and we'll see you again next week.